y'all own it from off top. So, you know, we just borrowing. I'm trying to get back.
Can I ask one of the question that is, what should African hip-hop do to avoid the mistakes that were made in American hip-hop to the point where Nas is saying hip-hop is dead and where it became about commercialism and rampant exploitation of women, exploitation of ourselves? What are the lessons learned from that Kenyan hip-hop should do?
Kenyan hip-hop need to look very closely at what's happening in the U.S. with hip-hop. Can you close the door? Thank you. Kenyan hip-hop needs to look closely at capitalism. Kenyan hip-hop needs to form institutions so it can own the music. You have to own the music, all parts of it. From the production, the studios, the engineers, to the technology that you print it on, the manufacture, the distribution, all should be inside close parameters with people that you know in order that we can control the whole of the message and to stop the messages that are derogatory, that don't mean any good for our people. That's how you do it. Because how that escaped us is because they own hip-hop. They own hip-hop. George Bush owns hip-hop in the U.S. The corporations, Sears and them own hip-hop. Seagram's own hip-hop. A whole bunch of people, not black people, do not own hip-hop. You follow the money trail, you think the rappers are being rich, they're lying and faking. The richest people around hip-hop are the white people who own the rappers. And so don't let that happen here. I think you do that, then you control the whole game. And you control the whole game.
Don't buy into the lie. That's where it starts. You know, you see the videos, because what's being promoted on MTV and what you hear on the radio is forcibly promoted to you so that it can influence you negatively, so that they can break down the king, the queen mentality that us as Africans were born with. And so it's important that you don't buy into the lie from the beginning. And it's not just by chance that all the videos has got cars and
the same women, the same drink.
Come on, man. It's not by chance. That is something that they actually manipulated, and they made sure that the trend was set in a certain way. Back in the day, hip-hop was controlled, the message was controlled by the people. If you didn't have something influential to say, a solid message, you was bullshit.
You can't get the mic.
You can't even get the mic.
You can't get the mic.
Unless you was like, you know, telling a story and creative. But you had to be creative. And that was dope. It was dope. But now what happens is, like M said, the commercial aspects have manipulated the music, and they understand the importance of the music because we digest it. They see we study the lyrics and learn every single lyric. They understood that from when Public Enemy was Can't Trust This and all before. I mean, that shit hurt them white boys. They seen Burn, Hollywood Burn. I don't even know if y'all remember that song. Like that, those are, you know what I mean? Those are songs that made hip-hop into what it is now into America. They changed it because they didn't want that influence to get on the souls of the young people. And we fucking turned America inside out. Yeah. So that's what y'all got to be careful with here. Don't buy into the lie from the beginning.
That's right.
Don't believe that MTV bullshit. It's 15 rappers that's doing well. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's more, and they're not even doing as well as the people who own them. They're just the shiniest whores for the capitalist pimps. They're the shiniest whores. They got the most bling on the block and pimp more. Make that money.
Believe that, man.
So I can take it home.
I think most Kenyan youth have already bought into that lie.
Yeah.
What's your message to them? What's your message to them?
Okay. If you can't relate to your brothers and sisters around you, then you shouldn't rap. If you can't tell the truth, if you can't say the truth in your rap and it be fly and we all love it, then you shouldn't rap. You shouldn't have the chance to be on the mic. I challenge any young person who comes up to me saying, I got a Bentley in my 50, I'm cooking, cracking, and I'm like, you know what? I know, I feel you, I like your rhythm, but you're lying. You know what I'm saying? Make the truth. And that's the challenge, because then they shut up. Then they got nothing to say after that. But the real MC got something to say no matter what. No matter what. So that's what I say. Challenge them to that.
Some brethren of mine was telling me in the West you have to be like France to make it. So what about this backpacking music? And if you're real, like it doesn't really sell.
If you're real meaning like Prez?
Yeah, if you're real.
I would say this. I've been in this hip-hop industry, which is basically the white bourgeois media arm, because that's what it is. It's media, and it's not owned by us. You know, I say that's a falsehood that's put out, you know, by the machismo in hip-hop, the same kind of patriarchal lifestyle that comes from the white men who run it. You know what I'm saying? I think more than anything, we want resistance. We want people that show strength. Everybody wants to see strength. Nobody wants to see weakness. And I think that's where you get the gun mentality and the gangster mentality. But gangster doesn't just mean gangster like Giuliani, because Giuliani's a real gangster. You know what I'm saying? And Bush. But gangster to us means, gangster for us means to live and die for what you believe in. That's what it means. You're ready to live on, teach it to your children, so we can bang on for what we really believe in and the truest tenets that our people go by. And I think that strength is good everywhere. So yeah, I buck too. I buck against the system. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is bucking at other black people is horizontal. We doing it vertically. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what we got to do. We got to switch the game, and I'm ready to see. There's room for all kind of hip hop. There's room for storytelling hip hop. There's room for comedy hip hop. There's room for women. Where's the women at in hip hop? That's when you know it's a real problem, because the women leadership are not here, and the women are our true leadership. They're the first teachers. They're the mothers of us all. So at the end of the day, you know it's a problem when the women ain't present. And so there's room for all of this in hip hop, and until we can control the game, you're not going to see all them sides. You're only going to see one side, and it's only going to be looking with a mean face, and it's going to have, you know.